Picture an iceberg, vast and towering, where the visible tip merely hints at the profound mysteries concealed below. Today we embark on a journey to explore the hidden dimensions of the unexplained, inviting you to uncover the secrets that dwell in the shadows of our world. Welcome to the Alien and UFO Iceberg, where the truly intriguing lies beneath. Level 1. Project Blue Book. Project Blue Book was a United States Air Force program established in 1952 with the primary goal of investigating and analyzing reports of unidentified flying objects, UFOs, led by various military personnel and scientists. The project sought to determine whether these sightings threatened national security or whether there was any evidence of advanced technology beyond earthly capabilities. Over its 2-decade existence, Project Blue Book investigated thousands of UFO reports, ultimately concluding that most sightings could be attributed to natural phenomena, misidentifications, or conventional aircraft. Despite its findings, the project remains a subject of interest and speculation among UFO enthusiasts and conspiracy theorists. The Greys. The Greys refers to a popular archetype of extraterrestrial beings commonly depicted in UFO and abduction narratives. Described as small humanoid entities with gray skin, large heads, and big black eyes, the Greys have become an iconic symbol in popular culture and conspiracy theories related to alien encounters. These entities are often associated with claims of UFO sightings and alleged abductions, with some individuals asserting that the Greys are involved in scientific experiments or other activities. The concept of the Greys has permeated various forms of media and has become deeply ingrained in discussions about extraterrestrial life and unidentified phenomena, despite lacking scientific evidence to support their existence. Whitley Strieber. Whitley Strieber is an American author, best known for his work in the science fiction and horror genres. He was born on June 13, 1945, in San Antonio, Texas. Strieber has written numerous novels, but he gained widespread recognition for his nonfiction book, Communion, which was published in 1987. Communion details Strieber's alleged experiences with extraterrestrial beings, particularly his claims of being abducted by aliens. The book describes encounters with non-human entities and explores themes related to UFOs and the paranormal. It became a bestseller and generated considerable public interest in the topic of alien abductions. Strieber continued to write about his experiences and related topics in his subsequent books, including Transformation and Breakthrough. While his accounts have attracted a following, they have also been met with skepticism and criticism from some quarters. In addition to his work on extraterrestrial and paranormal subjects, Whitley Strieber has written fiction in various genres, including horror and historical fiction. His diverse body of work has made him a notable figure in the realm of speculative fiction. Area 51. Area 51 is a highly classified U.S. Air Force facility located in the southern portion of Nevada, USA. It is part of the larger Nevada Test and Training Range, NTTR, a restricted military area. The facility has been the subject of much speculation and conspiracy theories, particularly regarding unidentified flying objects, UFOs, and extraterrestrial life. The U.S. government did not officially acknowledge the existence of Area 51 until 1997. Area 51 has been used for testing and training activities, including the development and testing of experimental aircraft and reconnaissance technologies. Some of the most well-known aircraft, such as the U-2 spy plane and the SR-71 Blackbird, were tested and developed at this site. Access to Area 51 is highly restricted, and it is surrounded by warning signs indicating that trespassers may be subject to the use of deadly force. The level of secrecy surrounding the facility has contributed to the many conspiracy theories and rumors associated with it. While Area 51 is a real and heavily guarded military installation, many of the more sensational claims about extraterrestrial technology and alien encounters are not supported by credible evidence. The secrecy surrounding the facility has fueled speculation and given rise to a variety of myths and legends over the years. Aerial School UFO. The Aerial School UFO incident refers to an alleged sighting of unidentified flying objects, UFOs, by students and staff at the Aerial School in Zua, Zimbabwe, on September 16, 1994. The school is a private primary school in a suburb of Harare. According to reports, over 60 children aged between 5 and 12 claimed to have witnessed a UFO landing near the school. The students described seeing beings that had large heads and big eyes. Some of the children reported receiving telepathic messages from those beings, conveying concerns about the Earth's environment. The incident gained international attention, and investigators, including journalists and researchers, visited the school to interview the students and document their accounts. The children's descriptions of the events were reportedly consistent, leading some to argue that the incident was a credible UFO sighting and possible contact with extraterrestrial beings. However, it is essential to note that the aerial school UFO incident remains a controversial and debated topic within the UFO community and among skeptics. Critics argue that the children may have been influenced by media reports, or that the event could be explained by natural or man-made phenomena. Others believe that the incident may have been a case of mass hysteria or a form of shared delusion. The aerial school UFO incident is often cited as one of the more intriguing and well-documented cases in the UFO literature. The lack of concrete evidence and the subjective nature of eyewitness accounts make it challenging to draw definitive conclusions about the nature of the event. The incident continues to be discussed and researched by UFO enthusiasts and investigators. Mothman. The Mothman is a cryptid, a creature that is part of folklore and urban legend, often reported to be seen in the vicinity of Point Pleasant, West Virginia, in the United States. The creature is typically described as a large, winged humanoid with glowing red eyes. The name Mothman comes from its supposed resemblance to a large moth. The Mothman legend gained prominence in the 1960s, particularly around the time of the collapse of the Silver Bridge in Point Pleasant on December 15, 1967. The bridge connected Point Pleasant to Gallipoli, Ohio, and its collapse resulted in the tragic deaths of 46 people. Some locals claimed to have seen the Mothman in the days leading up to the bridge collapse, leading to speculation and folklore that the creature is somehow connected to the tragedy. Descriptions of the Mothman vary, but common features include a wingspan of around 10 feet, large feet or glowing eyes, and a general humanoid shape. Witnesses often report feelings of fear or a sense of impending doom associated with their encounters. While the Mothman legend is rooted in eyewitness accounts and local folklore, it has also become a part of popular culture. The legend has inspired books, documentaries, and a Hollywood movie titled The Mothman Prophecies, based on the 1975 book of the same name by John Keel. Skeptics generally attribute Mothman sightings to misidentifications of natural creatures, such as owls or large birds, or to the influence of psychological factors. Despite this, the Mothman remains a fascinating and enduring part of American cryptozoology and paranormal lore. The Jinn. Jinn, also spelled as jinn or genie, are supernatural beings in Islamic mythology and Middle Eastern folklore. They are believed to be created from smokeless fire and possess free will, existing alongside humans and angels. Jinn are known for their shape-shifting abilities and can take on various forms, ranging from ethereal spirits to more concrete physical entities. They are mentioned in Islamic scriptures, including the Quran, and are often associated with both benevolent and malevolent forces. In popular culture, especially in Western literature and film, jinn are often depicted as magical beings capable of granting wishes, as seen in stories like 1001 Nights. However, traditional beliefs emphasize the unpredictable nature of the jinn and caution against invoking them without proper knowledge and precaution. David Grush. In 2023, former United States Air Force USAF officer and intelligence official David Grush made several claims regarding a secretive UFO recovery program operated by the U.S. federal government. Grush alleged that the government possesses non-human spacecraft and the bodies of their deceased pilots. He also stated that he had viewed the documents suggesting the recovery of a non-human spacecraft in 1933 with assistance from the Vatican and the Five Eyes. Grush filed a whistleblower complaint and testified before the U.S. House of Representatives. However, government agencies such as NASA and the Department of Defense denied the existence of extraterrestrial evidence. Skepticism and criticism emerged from scientists, experts, and media pundits, with some questioning Grush's credibility and raising concerns about disinformation campaigns. Despite the attention, concrete evidence supporting Grush's claims remained elusive. Missing time. Missing time typically refers to a phenomenon reported by individuals who claim to have experienced a gap or time for which they have no memory. This concept is often associated with claims of alien abduction, UFO encounters, or paranormal experiences. People who report missing time may describe situations where they cannot account for a portion of their day or night, and their memory seems to be blank or hazy during that period. One of the most well-known cases involving missing time is related to alleged UFO abductions. In these accounts, individuals claim to have taken aboard unidentified flying objects, subjected to medical examinations, and then returned to their original location, with no memory of the events that transpired during the abduction. From a scientific and psychological standpoint, missing time experiences are often attributed to a variety of factors, including sleep disorders, psychological disassociation, trauma, or even mundane explanations such as memory lapses. Skeptics argue that these experiences may not necessarily involve supernatural or extraterrestrial elements, but rather result from the complexity of human memory and perception. Research into missing time experiences often falls within the realm of ufology, parapsychology, and psychology. While some individuals firmly believe in the paranormal or extraterrestrial explanations for missing time, the scientific community generally approaches these claims with skepticism, emphasizing the need for objective evidence and critical analysis. Marian apparitions. Marian apparitions refer to reported appearances of the Virgin Mary, the Mother of Jesus, to individuals or groups in various locations worldwide. These apparitions often involve the Virgin Mary delivering messages, prophecies, or guidance to the witnesses. Some of the most well-known Marian apparitions include those at Lourdes in France, where Bernadette Cibriu reported visions of Mary in 1858, and Fatima in Portugal, where 3 shepherd children claimed to have witnessed multiple apparitions in 1917. These events often lead to the development of pilgrimage sites and the construction of shrines and churches dedicated to Mary. While these experiences hold profound spiritual significance for many believers, the Catholic Church typically conducts thorough investigations before officially recognizing an apparition as worthy of devotion, emphasizing discernment and caution in interpreting such phenomena. Lost Evidence. Lost Evidence is a television series on the History Channel that reevaluates and constructs key World War II battles using 3-dimensional landscapes, reconnaissance photos, eyewitness testimonies, and documents, consisting of 23 50-minute episodes, except for the 100-minute D-Day episode. The series covers significant events such as the Battle of the Bulge, Liberation of Paris, Battle of Berlin, Stalingrad, and Pearl Harbor. First aired in the UK in 2004, the show explores historical episodes with a focus on providing a visual and comprehensive understanding of the battles. Repeats of the series are currently being broadcast on Military History and the digital network Quest. The series is part of the History Channel's original programming, which also includes shows like Alone, Ancient Aliens, and Pawn Stars. For additional information and a list of episodes, you can visit the Lost Evidence website. Bible UFOs. In recent times, discussions about aliens, UFOs, and UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomena, have become increasingly prominent, with many speculating about government cover-ups and citing credible sightings by professionals like fighter and commercial pilots. This conversation delves into these topics, emphasizing the importance of open dialogue and critical thinking in understanding such phenomena, especially from a Christian perspective. The discussion starts with the acknowledgement of popular culture's fascination with extraterrestrial life, influenced by theories like those presented in Erich von Daniken's Chariots of the Gods. This book and similar works suggest that biblical events and figures may have been alien encounters. However, the speaker warns that von Daniken's ideas are deeply rooted in the occult and urges caution, highlighting potential for deception. The talk proceeds to debunk several claims of UFOs and aliens in the Bible. For example, it refutes the idea that the Ark of the Covenant was a radio transmitter for communicating with aliens, or that the pillar of cloud and fire, Moses' burning bush, and the parting of the Red Sea were extraterrestrial in nature. Instead, these events were reaffirmed as actions and presence of the Lord. The program also addresses the theological implications of believing in extraterrestrial life. It discusses the problems with the idea of alien beings in the context of Christian theology, such as the impact of the fall on the entire creation, including any theoretical extraterrestrial beings, and the implication for the doctrine of salvation and the deity of the Christ. In conclusion, it emphasizes the importance of understanding the Bible and its teachings in their correct context, urging listeners to be wary of biases and misleading interpretations. The Bible is presented as a story of the creation, fall, and redemption focused on earth and humanity, with no mention or implication of extraterrestrial life. The discussion aims to equip listeners with theological knowledge and critical thinking skills to navigate these complex topics. Betty and Barney Hill. Betty and Barney Hill were an American couple who claimed to have been abducted by extraterrestrials in a widely publicized event that occurred in 1961. This incident is often considered one of the first reported cases of alien abduction. On the night of September 19th to 20th, 1961, Betty and Barney Hill were driving through the White Mountains of New Hampshire. They reported seeing a bright light in the sky that seemed to follow them. Eventually, they claimed to have been taken aboard a spacecraft by beings they described as non-human and somewhat humanoid in appearance. Under hypnosis conducted separately in 1964, the Hills provided detailed accounts of their alleged abduction experiences. Their recollections included medical examinations, communication with the beings, and being shown a star map. The star map, as described by Betty Hill, became a notable aspect of the case. She drew a map that she claimed was shown to her by extraterrestrials, depicting the route from their home star to Earth. While the Hill case gained widespread attention and became a landmark in UFO folklore, it is important to note that the evidence is largely anecdotal and lacks scientific verification. Skeptics have raised questions about the reliability of hypnosis as a means of recovering memories, and the case remains controversial within the field of UFO research. Despite the controversy, the Betty and Barney Hill abduction case has had a lasting impact on popular culture and has influenced the portrayal of alien abductions in books, movies, and television shows. The Hills' story continues to be a topic of interest and debate among those interested in UFO phenomena and extraterrestrial encounters. Foo Fighters. The term Foo Fighters originally referred to unidentified aerial phenomena, UAP, or UFOs reported by Allied aircraft pilots during World War II. The term was coined by the pilots themselves and popularized after the war. Pilots from both the Allied and Axis powers reported seeing mysterious aerial objects that seemed to follow or accompany their aircraft. These objects were described as glowing orbs or balls of light that could maneuver in ways that were beyond the capabilities of known human-made aircraft. The term Foo Fighters was borrowed from a comic strip of the time and used by pilots to describe these enigmatic objects. It is important to note that the Foo Fighters observed during World War II were likely not extraterrestrial in origin. Instead, they were probably natural atmospheric phenomena, experimental aircraft, or other military-related phenomena. However, the sightings fueled speculation and curiosity about unidentified flying objects. In modern times, the term Foo Fighters has taken on a different meaning. It is now the name of the rock band formed in 1994, founded by Nirvana's former drummer Dave Grohl after the death of Nirvana's lead singer, Kurt Cobain. The band's name pays homage to the historical term and reflects Grohl's interest in UFOs and other paranormal phenomena. The Foo Fighters band has achieved significant success and popularity in the music industry. Winged beings. Winged beings, often steeped in mythology and folklore, captivate the human imagination with their ethereal grace and symbolic significance. These creatures, ranging from angels and cherubs to mythical beings like dragons and harpies, are characterized by their possession of wings, which represent freedom, transcendence, and divine connection in various cultural narratives. The image of winged beings has permeated religious texts, ancient artworks, and contemporary literature, embodying both celestial messengers and fearsome guardians. Whether serving as symbols of enlightenment, protectors of realms, or manifestations of the supernatural, winged beings continue to soar through the collective consciousness, transcending cultural boundaries and leaving an indelible mark on the tapestry of human storytelling. The Reptilians. Reptilians, also known as reptoids, archons, saurians, draconians, or lizard people, constitute a prevalent theme in fantasy, science fiction, ufology, and conspiracy theories. The concept, popularized by conspiracy theorist David Icke, asserts that shape-shifting reptilian aliens covertly control Earth by assuming human form and manipulating global politics. The origins of this idea can be traced back to Robert E. Howard's The Shadow Kingdom and Maurice Doreal's writings in the 1920s and 1940s. The reptilian conspiracy theory, according to Icke, involves tall, blood-drinking, and shape-shifting reptilian humanoids from the Alpha Draconis star system orchestrating a worldwide conspiracy against humanity. Icke implicates various world leaders, including the Merovingian dynasty, Rothschilds, Bush family, and the British royal family, as being linked to these alleged reptilians. Despite lacking empirical support, Icke's theories have garnered international attention, sparking political humor and even making their way into electoral campaigns. Notably, Dutch MP Thierry Baudet expressed belief in evil reptiles governing the world in a 2020 interview, showcasing the enduring influence of the reptilian conspiracy theory. Kenneth Arnold, March 29, 1915 to January 16, 1984, was an American aviator, entrepreneur, and politician. He gained widespread recognition for reporting what is often considered the first widely publicized modern UFO sighting in the United States. On June 24, 1947, while flying near Mount Rainier in Washington, Arnold claimed to have witnessed 9 unusual objects moving in tandem at high speeds, coining the term flying saucers. Following this event, Arnold delved into UFO investigations, becoming a prominent figure in UFO folklore. Despite his initial fame, he faced controversy, particularly in the aftermath of the Maury Island incident, which he investigated but was later revealed to be a hoax. Arnold continued his involvement in UFO-related activities, collaborating on articles and publications with science fiction editor Ray Palmer. In 1962, he entered politics, securing the Republican Party's nomination for lieutenant governor of Idaho, before ultimately losing in the general election. Throughout his life, Arnold remained associated with UFO discussions, contributing to literature, and engaging in political campaigns. Wands seen used by aliens. The concept of wands, with their historical and mystical significance, takes an intriguing turn when exploring the idea of extraterrestrial beings incorporating these magical instruments. In the realm of speculative fiction and imaginative storytelling, one could envision scenarios where advanced alien civilizations utilize wands for purposes beyond our understanding. Picture an alien race wielding wands made from otherworldly materials, seamlessly blending technology and mysticism. These extraterrestrial beings, with their superior knowledge and capabilities, harness the power of wands to manipulate energy fields, transcend dimensions, or communicate telepathically. The wands, intricately designed with symbols and patterns beyond human comprehension, become conduits for the aliens to channel their advanced technologies or tap into cosmic forces. The concept of aliens using wands combines elements of science fiction and fantasy, imagining extraterrestrial beings wielding devices that resemble the wands often found in magical lore. In this imaginative scenario, these wands are not just simple tools but are infused with advanced technology and mystical properties unique to their alien creators. They could serve various purposes, such as channeling energy, manipulating physical or quantum realities, or enabling communication across vast distances, blending the mystique of traditional magical wands with the futuristic possibilities of alien technology. This idea captivates the imagination by merging the archetypal symbolism of wands in human mythology with the boundless potential of extraterrestrial innovation. Medical experiments on board UFOs. The concept of medical experiments on board UFOs usually stems from science fiction and UFO folklore. It involves the idea that extraterrestrial beings, using advanced technology and knowledge, conduct medical or scientific experiments within their spacecraft. These scenarios often describe the interior of UFOs as being equipped with high-tech, futuristic medical equipment, and the aliens conducting the experiments are typically portrayed as highly intelligent and possessing superior technological capabilities. In popular culture and UFO conspiracy theories, these experiments are sometimes described as involving humans, either as willing participants or abductees. The nature of the experiments can range from non-invasive studies, like genetic analysis or observation, to more invasive procedures. This concept is largely speculative and part of imaginative storytelling, with no concrete evidence to support actual occurrences of such experiments. It's a common theme in science fiction literature, films, and television shows, reflecting human curiosity about the unknown and the possibilities of advanced extraterrestrial life. Hollow Earth bases. The hollow Earth concept, originating in the late 17th century, suggests that the Earth is either entirely hollow or contains significant internal space, initially proposed by Edmund Halley and later explored by others like John Cleves Sims Jr. and Jeremiah N. Reynolds. It was disproven by scientific experiments like Pierre Bourget in 1740 and Charles Hutton Schiehallion experiment around 1774. Despite its scientific dismissal, the idea persisted in popular pseudoscience and subterranean fiction. Ancient and diverse cultural myths often reference a world beneath the Earth's surface, relating it to various concepts of the afterlife or origin places. These include the Greek underworld, the Nordic Svartalfhamr, Christian hell, Jewish Sheol, and the Tibetan Buddhist city of Shambhala. The folklore of many cultures, from Greek and Celtic to Hindu and Native American, features stories of subterranean realms accessed through caves or tunnels, often linked to spiritual or mythological themes. Modern interpretations of the Hollow Earth theory have varied, ranging from early scientific hypotheses about the Earth's composition to later fanciful notions of subterranean civilizations and connections to UFOs. Despite its lack of scientific validity, the Hollow Earth concept continues to inspire fiction and art, reflecting humanity's enduring fascination with the unknown and the possibilities of hidden worlds within our planet. Broadhaven UFO. 40 years ago, pupils at Broadhaven Primary School in Pembrokeshire, Wales, reported seeing a UFO near their playground, marking the start of numerous sightings in the area, known as the Dyfed Triangle in 1977. David Davies, then a 10-year-old skeptic, saw a brief glimpse of a silver, cigar-shaped aircraft with a dome, which left him with awe. The headmaster had the children draw what they saw, resulting in remarkably similar depictions. 2 months later, Rosa Granville of the Haven Fort Hotel in Little Haven also reported seeing an upside-down saucer-shaped object and 2 humanoid figures, accompanied by intense heat and colored flames. Nicholas Edwards, the local MP, contacted the Ministry of Defense due to the surge in sightings. Flight Lieutenant Cowan from RAF Body humorously dismissed the sightings, suggesting that they might be pranks, possibly linked to oil refinery protection suits. In 1996, businessman Glyn Edwards admitted to pranking locals in a silver suit. Government files released later speculated on pranksters or misidentified sewage tanks as potential explanations. A former U.S. Navy sailor suggested the sightings were misinterpreted military activities, including new Harrier jets and personnel in fireproof suits. Despite various theories, the incident remains a topic of intrigue and speculation. David Davies, still affected by his experience, and author Neil Spring, who researched the military's secret investigation into the incident, both maintain an interest in the unexplained nature of these events, suggesting there's more to the story beyond the schoolchildren's accounts. Nazi UFOs. The concept of Nazi UFOs refers to the speculative and conspiracy theories that suggest Nazi Germany developed advanced aircraft or spacecraft before and during World War II. These theories often include claims about the creation of revolutionary flying saucers or disc-shaped aerial vehicles, which were allegedly far ahead of their time. The most famous of these supposed designs is the Huanbu series of spacecraft and the Vril flying discs. These theories are largely based on interpretations of historical data, personal testimonies, and a mix of declassified and dubious documents. They have been further popularized by various books, documentaries, and other forms of media. One of the key sources for these theories is the supposed secret projects undertaken by the SS and other Nazi research groups, which some believe were aimed at developing advanced propulsion technology and weaponry. However, there is no concrete evidence or credible historical documentation to support the existence of such advanced Nazi-built UFOs. Most historians and scholars consider these theories to be pseudoscience and fringe speculation, often pointing out that they emerge from misinterpretations or exaggerations of known facts about Nazi Germany's military research and development. While Nazi Germany did invest heavily in advanced and sometimes bizarre military technology during the war, including rocketry and jet aircraft, The leap to UFOs and extraterrestrial-like technology is not supported by credible evidence. The fascination with this topic largely stems from the enigmatic nature of some Nazi projects and the human tendency to fill gaps in historical knowledge with imaginative speculation. Hypnosis. Hypnosis is a psychological condition characterized by focused attention, reduced peripheral awareness, and an increased responsiveness to suggestions. Competing theories attempt to explain hypnosis. Altered state theories view it as a unique mental state, while non-state theories consider it a placebo effect, a redefined therapeutic interaction, or a form of imaginative role enactment. During hypnosis, individuals experience heightened focus and concentration, making them more receptive to suggestions. The process typically begins with a hypnotic induction, involving specific instructions and suggestions. Therapeutically, it is called hypnotherapy, while for entertainment purposes, it is known as stage hypnosis. Evidence supports the use of hypnosis-based therapies for conditions such as irritable bowel syndrome and menopause. However, its effectiveness for issues such as smoking cessation remains mixed. The controversial use of hypnosis to retrieve and integrate early trauma is debated within the scientific community due to concerns about the formation of false memories. The terms hypnosis and hypnotism originated from neurohypnotism, coined by Étienne Félix de Hénin de Coulver in the 1920s. The word hypnosis is derived from the ancient Greek words hypnos, meaning sleep, and osis, from hypno, meaning put to sleep. The history of hypnosis dates back thousands of years, with early descriptions found in the writings of Avicenna. Modern hypnosis gained popularity in the late 18th century, notably through the work of Franz Mesmer. Mesmer's theory of a mystical force was later challenged by Abbe Faria, who believed in the power of suggestion. Hypnotism entered the medical field through practitioners like Elliotson and James Ezedale, with James Braid drawing parallels between hypnotism and ancient spiritual practices. Braid emphasized the role of suggestion and concentration in hypnotic phenomena, rejecting metaphysical interpretations. He found correlations between Oriental practices and his own rational neurohypnotism, highlighting the importance of inducing a habit of attention and concentration in hypnosis. Triangle UFOs. Triangle UFOs, also known as black triangles, are a category of unidentified flying objects that are typically described as large, dark-colored, triangular aircraft with lights at their corners. These mysterious sightings have been reported around the world and have sparked numerous theories and speculations about their origins and purpose. Some suggest that they could be advanced military aircraft or secret government projects, while others propose extraterrestrial or otherworldly explanations. Despite decades of sightings and investigations, the true nature of triangle UFOs remains unconfirmed, adding to the intrigue and mystery surrounding these enigmatic aerial phenomena. Level 2. The Real Men in Black. In popular culture and UFO conspiracy theories, Men in Black, MIB, are often depicted as government agents dressed in black suits. They are said to interrogate, harass, threaten, and sometimes even memory wipe or assassinate individuals who claim to have witnessed unidentified flying objects, UFOs. The term Men in Black is also used more broadly to describe mysterious individuals associated with unknown organizations or government branches involved in secretive or peculiar activities. This term is not specific and can be applied to any strange or threatening individual connected to a UFO sighting. Numerous accounts of encounters with Men in Black have been reported by UFO researchers and enthusiasts, becoming a part of UFO folklore. The concept has inspired various works in popular culture, such as the science fiction comedy franchise Men in Black and a music album by the Stranglers. From a folklore perspective, folklorist James R. Lewis draws parallels between Men in Black accounts and stories of people encountering figures like Lucifer, suggesting a possible connection to psychological trauma. In the realm of ufology, Men in Black play a significant role. with ufologists adopting a conspiratorial mindset in the 1950s and 1960s, fearing organized intimidation for uncovering the truth about UFOs. Historical accounts include instances like Harold Dahl's claim of a warning from a man in a dark suit in 1947, and ufologist Albert K. Bender's assertion of being threatened by the Men in Black during his UFO investigations in the mid-1950s. Ufologist John Keel described these encounters as involving demonic supernaturals. During the 1970s, 1980s, and 1990s, UFO conspiracy theorists incorporated the Men in Black into their complex and paranoid narratives. Some argue that certain Men in Black encounters could be explained as mundane events perpetuated through folklore. In popular media, Men in Black are referenced in songs like Blue Oyster Cult's ETI, Extraterrestrial Intelligence, and The Stranglers' Men in Black. Films like The Brother from Another Planet in 1984 and the 1997 blockbuster Men in Black, starring Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones, further contributed to the cultural representation of the Men in Black. The latter was loosely based on a comic book series, and its creator, Lowell Cunningham, drew inspiration from the idea of government agents in black when he saw a black van on the street. The Nordics. In the field of ufology, the term Nordic alien is used to describe purported humanoid extraterrestrial beings who are claimed to originate from the Pleiades and bear a resemblance to Nordic Scandinavians. According to individuals who assert having had contact with these beings, Nordics are typically described as tall, ranging from 6 to 7 feet, with long blonde hair, blue eyes, and fair skin. George Adamski is recognized as one of the early figures claiming contact with Nordic aliens in the mid-1950s. Scholars observed that the mythology surrounding extraterrestrial visitation often includes features resembling the concept of Aryan, coupled with attributes such as telepathy, benevolence, and physical beauty. The origin early stories about Nordic-type aliens is speculated to have been influenced, in part, by the 1951 film The Day the Earth Stood Still, where an extraterrestrial arrives on Earth to warn about the dangers of atomic weapons. According to cultural historian David J. Scull, this film may have played a role in shaping early perceptions of these extraterrestrial beings. Stephanie Kelly Romano, a professor at Bates College, characterizes beliefs in alien abductions as a living myth, noting that among believers, Nordic aliens are often associated with spiritual growth, love, and are seen as protectors for those who claim to have encountered them. Within contacted and ufology literature, Nordic aliens are frequently depicted as benevolent or even magical entities with a keen interest in observing and communicating with humans. Believers attribute telepathic powers to the Nordics, describing them as parental, watchful, smiling, affectionate, and youthful. During the 1950s, numerous individuals alleging contact, especially in Europe, reported encounters with beings matching the Nordic description. However, in subsequent decades, such claims became less common as the gray alien archetype gained prominence in alleged accounts of extraterrestrial encounters. Published works by those claiming personal contact with Nordic aliens include George Adamski's Flying Saucers Have Landed and Inside the Spaceships, Howard Menger's From Outer Space to You, and Travis Walton's The Walton Experience. Rex Heflin photos. The Rex Heflin photos refer to a set of photographs taken by a highway maintenance engineer named Rex Heflin on August 3, 1965. Heflin claimed that he observed and photographed a UFO while working near Santa Ana, California. These images gained attention within the UFO community and were considered by some as potential evidence of extraterrestrial visitation. In the photos, a metallic-looking, disc-shaped object is seen hovering in the sky. The Heflin photos became widely circulated and were even investigated by the Condon Committee, a government-funded study on UFOs in the late 1960s. However, the committee concluded that the Heflin case did not provide substantial evidence of an unidentified aerial phenomenon and suggested the possibility of a hoax. The Rex Heflin photos remain controversial and are often discussed in the context of UFO lore and investigations. While some believe they represent genuine evidence of UFOs, skeptics argue that they could be the result of mundane phenomena, misinterpretation, or deliberate deception. The case highlights the challenges and debates surrounding the interpretations of UFO photographs and the broader discussion of unidentified flying objects. Sleep paralysis. A significant number of people in the United States have reported experiencing alien abductions, often describing encounters with small gray beings and undergoing invasive procedures on extraterrestrial spacecraft. However, research suggests that these experiences might have a more mundane explanation linked to sleep phenomena. The International Journal of Dream Research published a study by the Phase Research Center in Russia, which proposes that these alien abduction experiences could be the result of dreaming during REM sleep. The study involved 152 participants who had previously had lucid dreams, where they were conscious of dreaming. They were asked to try to dream about aliens or UFOs. Remarkably, 75%, 114 individuals, reported dreams featuring extraterrestrials or alien abductions. In these dreams, 61% of the participants encountered aliens similar to those depicted in science fiction, while 19% dreamt of aliens resembling ordinary humans, and 4% reported invisible entities. Spaceships appeared in 28% of these dreams, with some participants dreaming of being inside or even piloting these UFOs. One participant described an aggressive alien with an elongated head and gray skin, while another recounted meeting blue-skinned beings with large heads and eyes, and elongated fingers. These dreams were so vivid that some participants struggled to distinguish them from reality. This study suggests that alien abduction stories might stem from dreams rather than actual extraterrestrial encounters, especially considering that many of these reports occur during sleep or relaxation. The researchers theorize that cultural influences, particularly from popular media, may shape these dream experiences. While the study relied on self-reported data and was conducted online, it aligns with other research linking alien abduction stories to sleep-related phenomena like REM sleep and sleep paralysis. A 2005 study, for instance, connected abduction stories to sleep paralysis episodes, where individuals interpret hallucinations as alien encounters. This body of research collectively suggests that many alien abduction narratives may be rooted in complex, sleep-related experiences rather than actual extraterrestrial encounters. Winged snake emblems. Winged snake emblems, when combined with the concept of aliens, evoke a fascinating blend of ancient symbolism and extraterrestrial mystique. Historically, these symbols, found in cultures from Egyptian to Mesoamerican mythologies, represent power, transformation, and a bridge between earthly and divine realms. In a modern context, incorporating alien imagery with winged snakes could symbolize advanced knowledge or otherworldly wisdom, merging the traditional earth-bound significance of the snake with the boundless possibilities of the cosmos. This fusion creates a unique emblem that could be interpreted as representing superior intelligence, cosmic guardianship, or the intersection of ancient earthly knowledge with extraterrestrial influences. Children encounter UFOs more often than adults. Aerial Phenomenon, a documentary by Randall Nickerson, delves into a notable UFO sighting involving 62 children at Zimbabwe's aerial school in 1994. Nickerson, who had his own unexplained sightings in Massachusetts during his youth, considers himself not so much a believer but a witness, a perspective that has influenced his approach to the film. The project began in 2007 when John Mack's family approached Nickerson to make a documentary about Mack's UFO research, particularly his work on the aerial school event. Over a period of 15 years, Nickerson extensively researched this incident, including trips to Zimbabwe, interviews with numerous individuals, and analysis of historical footage. The event unfolded in September 1994, with students at Aerial School reporting a mysterious silver object and odd figures near their play area. The children's consistent and sincere testimonies, supported by their drawings and narratives, lent credibility to their claims. John Mack, a renowned psychiatrist from Harvard and a Pulitzer Prize recipient, faced considerable criticism for his UFO research, yet he steadfastly pursued this study, convinced of its legitimacy. Through interviews with those who were children at the time of the sighting, now adults, Nickerson's film underscores the enduring impact of the incident. It reveals the challenges they face, with some preferring to remain anonymous due to ongoing stigma and skepticism. The film also details the professional struggles faced by Mack, highlighting the broader challenge of taking UFO sightings seriously in the scientific community. It emphasizes the emotional impact on those who've experienced such inexplicable events, advocating for a more receptive and open-minded approach to these phenomena. Aerial Phenomenon, currently available on multiple streaming services, stirs continuous interest and debate around UFOs. Its upcoming screening is scheduled for November 16th at the Sun Valley Museum of Art in Ketchum, Idaho, and further insights into Max's research can be explored through the John Mack Institute. The notion that children more frequently report UFO sightings than adults may stem from their vivid imaginations and limited understanding of the world. This, coupled with their propensity for fantastical play and influence from the media and cultural narratives about aliens, could lead to a higher likelihood of them interpreting unusual occurrences as encounters with the extraordinary. While this perspective doesn't negate the possibility of actual encounters, it suggests that children may be more inclined to perceive and report unusual phenomena as UFO sightings. Woodrow Durenberger and Lanulos. In 1967, M. Spawn Marling wrote an article in Flying Saucers magazine about Woodrow Durenberger, a 50-year-old man from West Virginia whose life dramatically changed following a claimed encounter with an extraterrestrial being. Durenberger, once a normal family man and sewing machine salesman, became a national figure, frequently appearing on television and radio, and hosting tours at a popular UFO landing site. Durenberger's encounter occurred on November 2, 1966, while driving home from Marietta, Ohio. He described how a large spacecraft landed on the road, blocking it completely. A humanoid figure emerged from the craft, identifying himself as Indrid Cold, a searcher from another planet. They communicated telepathically, with Cold asking questions about Earth and Durenberger's life. Initially curious, Durenberger became apprehensive and then fearful, though Cold reassured him of his peaceful intentions. The encounter ended with Cold re-entering his craft, which then departed. Durenberger's wife recalled his distressed state when he returned home. Despite his shock, Durenberger reported the incident to the police, who confirmed receiving similar reports that night. The next day, he was besieged by law enforcement, military personnel, and media. On November 4th, Durenberger had a second meeting with Cold, where he learned more about Cold's background and his planet, Lanulos, near the galaxy Ganymedes. Cold explained that Lanulosians were time travelers and could not stay on Earth for extended periods without aging backwards. He revealed that his people sought a friendly exchange with Earth and operated from a lunar base. Durenberger's life and that of his family were greatly disrupted by constant media and public attention. His wife lamented the loss of their privacy, with frequent uninvited visitors and continuous correspondence from around the world. Cold, according to Durenberger, had tried to establish a friendly relationship with Earth's governments, but disagreements over conditions hindered progress. Durenberger also mentioned a group of local individuals, including professionals, who were in contact with Cold and had similar experiences. Alien Pancakes. In 1961, Joseph Simonton, a 60-year-old poultry farmer from near Eagle River, Wisconsin, reported a remarkable encounter with a flying saucer. On April 18th, while having breakfast, he heard an unusual noise and saw a silver-shaped disc UFO hovering in his backyard. The craft, about 10 meters in diameter and 4 meters high, contained 3 dark-skinned humanoid figures resembling Italians, dressed in tight clothing from head to toe. Curious, Simonton went outside and interacted with the mute aliens. One of them handed him a vessel, seemingly requesting water. Simonton filled it from a nearby pump and returned it. He noticed inside the craft a crew member operating a dashboard and others cooking on a flameless grill. The aliens then offered Simonton 4 pancakes with tiny holes. After he accepted them, the craft closed its hatch and flew away. Simultaneously, an insurance agent, Savino Borgo, was driving nearby and also witnessed the UFO. Simonton tasted the pancake, but found it unpalatable, likening it to cardboard. This bizarre tale drew the attention of the U.S. Air Force and Project Blue Book. 1 pancake was given to a local judge, another to Dr. J. Allen Hynek, and a third to the Food and Drug Administration. Analysis revealed the pancakes were made of earthly ingredients, turning the incident into a national joke. Simonton, known for his honesty in the community, was unfazed by skepticism. Dr. Hynek noted Simonton's sincere belief in his experience, following increased UFO sightings and unusual events in the Eagle River area. Including power failures and aircraft crashes, the incident remained unexplained. The Air Force suggests Simonton might have mistaken a dream for reality, but the Eagle River UFO incident continues to intrigue as an unsolved mystery. 1973 Humanoid Wave. In 1973, specifically from August to December, a remarkable surge in UFO sightings involving humanoid figures was reported globally, with a concentration in the United States. This period saw an influx of reports about beings either inside or emerging from UFOs, and in some cases, pursuing witnesses. Alongside these sightings were several alien abduction reports. The Center for UFO Studies, CUFOS, conducted discrete investigations into these occurrences. One notable event from this wave was the Pascagoula abductions. Other significant events included bizarre incidents like the Beanpot UFO case. For instance, in April 1973, Reed Thompson, who previously witnessed a UFO in 1967, had a strange encounter with two unusual men demanding photographs of his previous UFO sighting. Around the same time, another employee witnessed a peculiar car lacking typical features like a steering wheel or seats. This wave was characterized by two types of sightings: humanoid figures resembling humans and anthropoid sightings, often described as Bigfoot-like creatures. October 1973 saw the most concentrated activity, with a significant number of reports on and around October 17th. Globally, similar sightings were reported in 1973, including in Malaysia and Indonesia, with accounts of miniature humanoids and strange crafts. In Mexico, numerous UFO reports began early in the year, involving glowing objects and tall occupants. These sightings often involved vehicles stalling and mysterious figures. The Spanish UFO wave, coinciding with global events, featured numerous sightings of luminous crafts and tall entities. These reports included close encounters and potential abductions, adding to the global mystery of this phenomenon. Despite the distinctiveness of the 1973 UFO wave, it remains lesser known outside the UFO community. This lack of broader recognition might be attributed to various factors, including media suppression and overshadowing by significant contemporary events like the Watergate scandal. The sudden end of the wave also raises questions about its purpose and implications for humanity. The 1973 UFO wave, with its unique characteristics and global impact, remains a subject of intrigue and study within UFO research communities. The Oz Factor. The Oz factor is a concept introduced by ufologist and author Jenny Randles to describe a unique state of consciousness often reported in UFO and paranormal encounters. This phenomenon involves individuals feeling as though they have been momentarily separated from their usual reality and placed into an environment that is similar yet distinctly altered and unsettling. Randles highlighted these experiences, which were previously overlooked due to their subjective nature, as a recurring element in certain UFO encounters. An example of the Oz factor was reported by folklorist Peter M. Rojewitz in 1980. While researching his PhD dissertation on UFOs, he encountered a strange man in the library who abruptly confronted him about his lack of interest in UFOs. After the man left, Rojewitz experienced a disconcerting sensation of being alone in the library with no staff or patrons visible, which contributed to a sense of unease and disconnection from normality. This feeling persisted for about an hour, after which things seemed to return to normal. The Oz factor often features in paranormal narratives as a backdrop to more dramatic events, serving to set the mood or atmosphere of the encounter. These experiences, while impactful for the individual, are typically hard to convey effectively to others. They share similarities with phenomena like déjà vu, where the individual feels a strong personal impact, yet the experience remains difficult to investigate or verify due to its subjective and anecdotal nature. USOs. Unidentified submerged objects, USOs, are mysterious entities observed in water bodies, such as oceans, lakes, and rivers, and are not identifiable as conventional vehicles or natural occurrences. Often linked to UFO phenomena, USOs are reported globally, with notable sightings in regions like the Bermuda Triangle and Scandinavian waters. Witnesses, including naval personnel and fishermen, describe them exhibiting extraordinary underwater speed and movement from water to air, challenging known physical laws. While theories about USOs range from secret military tech to extraterrestrial crafts, solid physical evidence remains elusive, leading to scientific skepticism. Despite this, USOs continue to intrigue researchers and the public, featuring prominently in popular culture and ufology discussions, but their true nature and origin remain largely a mystery. Aliens walk among us. In the 1940s and 50s, the emergence of reports of flying saucers became a cultural phenomenon in the United States, influencing Hollywood's portrayal of potential extraterrestrial threats. This period, fueled by ongoing ideas about life on the moon and Martian civilizations, generated both hopes and fears about aliens among us. The concept of aliens disguising themselves as humans to observe or influence our society has been a recurring theme. The destructive power of the atomic bomb during the Cold War era led to concerns about the potential harm that advanced technology could bring. This fear provided fertile ground for anxieties to manifest in visions of flying saucers and extraterrestrial visitors living among humans. Expressions of these anxieties are evident in the media, such as the 1956 film Earth vs. the Flying Saucers, which illustrated fears of potential alien attacks. Comic books and television of the time also reflected Cold War concerns, as seen in the 1962 comic There Are Martians Among Us, where the fear of extraterrestrials mirrored anxieties about hidden enemies in society, reminiscent of the McCarthy era. UFOs and aliens become part of American folklore, with sightings and encounters contributing to the country's mythology. Ethnographic interviews, like one with Howard Miller describing a potential UFO sighting during a hunting trip in 1966, capture the personal experiences that contribute to this cultural narrative. Despite the prevalence of UFO folklore, scientists and astronomers generally dismiss the idea of aliens visiting Earth. Carl Sagan, a well-known figure in the search for extraterrestrial intelligence, expressed skepticism about UFOs in his works, encouraging rigorous and skeptical thinking. Sagan's dual perspective, combining skepticism with speculative imagination, underscores the importance of entertaining new ideas while critically evaluating their validity. Screen memories. Reality is perceived as a holographic illusion or simulation, comprised of screened images that feel real but are projected illusions designed for emotional experiences through the temporal lens, eye. Screen memories or stealth encounters involve the creation of false memories by the mind, not to be confused by psychosis. These memories are reconstructed to aid understanding or overcome fear, and what is remembered is not an accurate representation of reality. In the context of alien abductions, screen memories pertain to images of aliens being replaced by something familiar or seemingly friendly. Commonly remembered elements include animals like owls, the cat family, wolves, rabbits associated with missing time, dogs, and deer. Additionally, encounters may involve clowns, circus, and carny symbology, inducing fear of these figures in future experiences. Clowns are often linked to the trickster archetype. Rescue scenarios in these memories feature people such as firefighters, policemen, utility workers, or military personnel. The presence of authorities may act as a psychological check or control on the experiencer. Some interpret military involvement as intentional collaboration in the encounter, while firefighters may symbolize an emergency response to mitigate the psychological shock of a stealth encounter. Science fiction works frequently explore the theme of screened images and memories. In the film Contact, for instance, the protagonist, Ellie Arroway, encounters an alien presence that assumes the form of her deceased father. Richard S. Shaver. Richard Sharp Shaver, October 8, 1907 to November 5, 1975, was a controversial American writer and artist known for his stories in science fiction magazines, primarily amazing stories. During the post-World War II era, Shaver's narratives centered around his claimed personal experiences with an ancient, sinister civilization possessing advanced technology in underground caverns. The controversy arose from Shaver and his editor, Ray Palmer, asserting that these stories, presented as fiction, were fundamentally true, leading to the promotion of the Shaver mystery. Shaver asserted that he discovered an ancient language called Mantong, which he believed was the origin of all earthly languages. According to Shaver, he gained telepathic insights while working in a factory in 1932, where he perceived thoughts and records of torture conducted by entities in the Earth's caverns. His stories described advanced prehistoric races the Taro and the Darrow, who lived in cavern cities. The Taro were noble, while the Darrow degenerated into a population of mentally impaired sadists. Shaver claimed first-hand knowledge of being a prisoner of the Darrow. Ray Palmer edited Shaver's manuscript, turning it into a novella titled I Remember Lemura, published in Amazing Stories in March 1945. This publication generated a significant response, with letters attesting to the truth of Shaver's claims. Shaver's tales dominated Amazing Stories, increasing its circulation. Critics labeled it the Shaver hoax, pointing to Shaver's symptoms of paranoid schizophrenia and the questionable credibility of supporting letters. The Shaver mystery influenced science fiction and paranormal beliefs. Shaver's stories persisted even after Amazing Stories ceased publishing them in 1948. The controversy waned, but references to Darros and elements of Shaver's narrative continued in literature, films, and games, shaping the mythology of paranormal phenomena, including UFOs. Some claimed a connection between the Shaver mystery and the flying saucer craze, arguing that Shaver and Palmer predicted it, while others dismissed such influence beyond a limited audience. Micro-USOs. Micro-USOs may pertain to unidentified submerged objects on a smaller scale. Although the term might not be extensively acknowledged in mainstream scientific or UFO research, generally, USOs are unidentified objects observed entering or exiting bodies of water, like oceans or lakes. These submerged phenomena, according to the U.S. Navy classification, can include marine life, such as whales and sharks, capable of impeding ship maneuvers, sonar operations, and oceanographic research. West Virginia. West Virginia boasts its fair share of peculiar and mysterious locations, ranging from abandoned ghost towns to haunted structures, often enveloped in local folklore and generations-old urban legends. Among these, some places gain notoriety for their association with alleged alien encounters and UFO sightings. Enter West Virginia's own version of Area 51, the Green Bank Observatory, situated in Pocahontas County. Residents in the vicinity are likely acquainted with the massive white telescope, officially named the Robert C. Byrd Green Bank Telescope, renowned as the largest of its kind globally. Albert K. Bender. Albert K. Bender, June 16, 1921 to March 29, 2016, a ufologist and the author of the 1962 nonfiction book Flying Saucers and the Three Men, had a deep fascination with the UFO phenomenon. Serving in the United States Army Air Forces during World War II, Bender later became a UFO researcher, establishing the International Flying Saucer Bureau, IFSB, the first major civilian UFO club globally, in 1952. However, he abruptly closed down the organization in 1953, claiming to have been visited by three men in black who communicated telepathically, shared insights into UFOs, and provided him with a metal disc. Following this encounter, Bender reported frequent headaches and an illness that led him to abstain from eating for 3 days. His experiences, documented by Gray Barker in They Knew Too Much About Flying Saucers, contributed to the legend of the Men in Black. In 1962, Bender published Flying Saucers and the Three Men, revealing his story, where he claimed that the Men in Black were from another planet. Despite speculation that his experience was a dream, Bender's encounters left a lasting impact on UFO research. He went on to manage a motel in California, and later founded the Max Steiner Music Society in 1965. Joined by notable figures like John Wayne, Fred Astaire, and Vincent Price, the society, focused on composer Max Steiner, continued until 1981. Portals. The concept of portals for aliens generally refers to the idea that extraterrestrial beings could use some form of portals or gateways to travel between their locations in the universe and Earth. In popular culture and speculative discussions about UFOs and alien encounters, the notion of portals is sometimes suggested as a means for aliens to traverse vast cosmic distances and reach our planet. This idea is often rooted in science fiction and lacks empirical evidence within mainstream scientific discourse. It's important to note that while the concept of portals may be entertaining in fictional contexts, there is no scientific basis or widely accepted evidence supporting the existence of such portals. Women in Black. This comprehensive examination of the enigmatic women in black delves into unsettling topics such as extraterrestrial encounters, the Mothman phenomenon, bizarre creatures, alchemical mysteries, time travel, and the shadowy realm of the supernatural. Similar to their eerie male counterparts, these women in black spare no effort to silence those who delve too deeply into the mysteries of UFOs and paranormal occurrences, employing chilling tactics such as dire warnings, intimidation, and ominous death threats. They resemble nocturnal hunters, much like the vampires of folklore, with a pale visage and clad in dark attire. These formidable women are relentless in their pursuit, making them a potential embodiment of your darkest fears. Level 3. Holy figures seen aboard UFOs. Lonnie Zamora, a police officer, witnessed a brief encounter with an egg-shaped craft landing, observing humanoid figures before the craft departed. Zamora, previously not involved in UFO matters, gained credibility, influencing researcher J. Allen Hynek, who became more open about discussing abduction cases. As a scientist, Hynek proposed a classification system for UFO encounters, leading to the creation of the close encounters of the first, second, and third kind. Deaths caused by UFOs. Many are familiar with the close encounters of the third kind, but the UFO field also has unsettling accounts of suspicious deaths. Reports include accidents that may not have been accidental, researchers and witnesses disappearing, and deaths resembling murder disguised as suicides. Close Encounters of the Fatal Kind explores incidents like the bizarre melting man, the UFO-related death of U.S. Secretary of Defense James Forrestal, the mysterious vanishing of military pilots linked to UFOs, and the connections between national history and the sudden deaths of UFO investigators. Delving into the cosmic truth about alien abductions, Roswell, and government knowledge of UFOs appears to be a perilous undertaking, as evidenced by the alarming incidents mentioned. The recent acknowledgement of Area 51 by the government is just the surface of a much larger issue. The PK Man. Owens asserted that he possessed a genius-level IQ and claimed to be a member of Mensa, asserting that he underwent psychic surgery by extraterrestrial intelligences who modified his brain for telepathic communication. Identifying as a UFO prophet, Owens likened himself to Moses, boasting psychokinetic abilities to predict and control natural disasters, such as lightning, hurricanes, tornadoes, earthquakes, and volcanoes. Self-dubbed the PK Man, Owens attributed his powers to space intelligences, aiming to draw attention to the hazards of nuclear weapons and environmental pollution. According to science fiction and comic book writer Otto Binder, Owens experienced a series of accidents resulting in brain trauma, which Binder believed contributed to Owens's purported supernormal abilities. Parapsychologist Jeffrey Mishlove documented Owens's story in the book The PK Man, A True Story of Mind Over Matter, featuring a foreword by John E. Mack. The Super Spectrum. 2 decades after the film Contact popularized the search for extraterrestrial intelligence, SETI, astronomers are realizing that the future of this quest may involve more than traditional radio telescope surveys. The focus could shift to sensing extraterrestrial irregularities, including unique atmosphere chemistry and higher-than-expected thermal emissions. As technology advances, SETI may explore phenomena beyond current understanding. The increasing discovery of potentially habitable exoplanets like Proxima Centauri b, prompts astronomers to seek more detailed information to assess their habitability. New observatories, such as NASA's James Webb Space Telescope, are expected to provide vital data on alien atmospheres. Additionally, artificial intelligence is being integrated into the search for anomalies and signals, expanding the scope of SETI investigations. The need for continuous, stable funding and improved data management becomes crucial as the search for extraterrestrial life intensifies. Aliens are not physical. The Fermi paradox, named after the physicist Enrico Fermi, questions the absence of signs of intelligent extraterrestrial civilizations in the Milky Way. Various explanations, such as the existence of a great filter limiting the emergence of complex life, have been proposed. However, a new perspective suggests that the evolution of technological intelligence, specifically artificial intelligence, AI, may be the key to understanding the paradox. Unlike organic brains, electronic computers have the potential to surpass human capabilities without the constraints of size and processing power. The exponential growth of AI may lead to its dominance and potentially surpassing humanity's intellectual capacities within a short time frame. The debate about whether AI possesses consciousness remains, with implications for how society perceives the prospect of a post-human future. If machines are considered conscious, their potential hegemony should be welcomed, whereas if they are deemed zombies, the future may appear bleak. Fairies. A fairy, known as fae, fairfolk, or fairy, is a mystical being or legendary creature present in the folklore of various European cultures, including Celtic, Slavic, Germanic, and French traditions. Described as metaphysical, supernatural, or preternatural spirits, fairies have diverse origins and are not attributed to a single source. Folk theories about fairies range from considering them demoted angels or demons in Christian traditions to deities in pagan belief systems, spirits of the dead, prehistoric precursors to humans, or nature spirits. The term fairy has been applied to specific magical creatures with human appearances, magical powers, and mischievous tendencies, as well as to a broader category encompassing various magical beings like goblins and gnomes. It is sometimes used as an adjective, conveying a sense of enchantment or magic, and also refers to the land from which these beings are believed to come. Protective charms, such as church bells, wearing clothing inside out, four-leaf clovers, and specific foods, are often employed to ward off fairies in folklore. Legends also associate fairies with haunting specific locations and leading travelers astray using will-o'-the-wisps. Before modern medicine, fairies were sometimes blamed for illnesses, including tuberculosis and birth deformities. Beyond folklore, fairies were popularized in Renaissance literature and Romantic art, particularly in the Victorian and Edwardian eras in the United Kingdom. The Celtic revival further solidified fairies as an integral part of Celtic cultural heritage. Sentient UFOs. The concept of sentient UFOs refers to the idea that unidentified flying objects, commonly associated with extraterrestrial phenomena, might possess consciousness or intelligence. This notion suggests that UFOs could be more than mere physical objects and may exhibit cognitive abilities or awareness. Proponents of this idea propose that these unidentified aerial phenomena could be manifestations of advanced, intelligent beings or entities, possibly of extraterrestrial origin, with the capacity to navigate and interact with their surroundings purposefully. The consideration of sentient UFOs adds a speculative dimension to discussions surrounding unidentified aerial phenomena and the potential existence of intelligent life beyond Earth. It is important to note that this concept remains largely speculative and lacks empirical evidence within the scientific community. Aliens influence the New Age movement. The New Age movement has been significantly influenced by the concept of aliens. Within this spiritual and metaphysical movement, the idea of extraterrestrial beings plays a prominent role in shaping beliefs about higher consciousnesses, cosmic connections, and the evolution of humanity. Many adherents of the New Age movement incorporate notions of alien encounters, abductions, and communication with otherworldly entities into their worldview. The concept of aliens is often intertwined with ideas of spiritual enlightenment, cosmic unity, and the belief that these extraterrestrial beings hold wisdom that guide and elevate human consciousness. This influence has contributed to a unique blend of esoteric beliefs within the New Age movement, where the exploration of cosmic connections and the potential impact of extraterrestrial intelligence on human spirituality are central themes. All Colors Sam. Sam the Sandown Clown stands out as one of the most peculiar and enigmatic paranormal entities documented in England's history. Unlike conventional spirits or extraterrestrials, Sam, as he's commonly known, defies classification, existing in a category of unidentified beings. The lone reported encounter with this entity dates back to 1973, involving 2 children from Sandown, England. Described as a nearly 7-foot-tall figure, Sam's unconventional appearance included a head emerging directly from its shoulders, devoid of a distinct neck. Clad in a green spandex tunic, with a red collar and a pointed yellow cowl featuring wooden antennae, Sam had triangular eyes, a square-shaped nose, motionless yellow lips, red cheek markings, and a hint of visible red hair. Theories about Sam's origin range from extraterrestrial or interdimensional being to a more unsettling suggestion of a human with potentially malicious intent, perhaps a child predator. Despite a lack of evidence supporting these hypotheses, Some proposed the possibility that Sam was a human in a costume, engaging in elaborate pranks. The remote location of the encounter, however, raises questions about the effectiveness of such a strategy. The encounter took place in May 1973, when two children, one using the alias Faye, explored the Shanklin and Sandown Golf Club hills, following a peculiar siren-like sound. They discovered Sam under a small bridge, dropping a wet book into a stream. Sam, seemingly startled, retrieved the book and fled to a windowless metal dwelling, returning with a microphone-like device. After generating the siren noise again, Sam communicated with the children, introducing himself as Sam and claiming to be all colors. During the conversation, Sam denied being human but acknowledged an odd connection to humanity. Expressing a fear of human aggression, Sam invited the children into his hut, revealing only an electric heater and wooden furniture on the first floor. Sam disclosed having a secret campsite, but kept its location hidden. Engaging in peculiar antics with a berry, Sam provided vague answers to the children's inquiries for about half an hour. The children left, eventually sharing their encounter with a skeptical groundskeeper and Faye's father, who found no trace of Sam or the metal hut upon investigation. Also 1. The witness in this strange incident was Carl Higdon, a 41-year-old oil well driller, husband and father of 4. He decided to take a day off to hunt elk in the northern region of Medicine Bow National Park, just 40 miles south of his home in Rawlings. While aiming at the largest male elk with his rifle, Higdon experienced an unusual lack of recoil and complete silence when firing. He claimed to witness the slow trajectory of the bullet, almost like it was moving through an invisible gel. Subsequently, a bizarre alien being approached him and casually asked, "How you doing?" Despite his fear, Higdon replied, "Pretty good." The extraterrestrial, named Also 1, inquired about Higdon's hunger and sent a package with 4 pills floating towards him. As Higdon stared at the strange box-like object catching the sun's rays in the clearing behind the creature, Also 1 asked if he wanted to come along. Higdon agreed with a shrug, and the next thing he remembered was being inside a cube-like craft where he claimed to have been given a tour of Also 1's home planet. The humanoid being, standing at 6 feet, wore a skin-tight black outfit resembling a scuba diver's wetsuit. Harness-like straps crisscrossed its chest, and a metallic belt with a large yellow 6-pointed star adorned its waist, accompanied by an unidentified insignia. The entity had no apparent ears, small eyeless eyes, coarse hair on the dome of its skull, and a lipless, slit-like mouth, revealing 3 large teeth on the top and bottom. Notably, it had a pointy, drill bit-like appendage on its right wrist, and nothing on the left. Despite the lack of evidence supporting the encounter, it is considered a hoax. Higdon claimed to have watched the bullet glide about 50 feet before inspecting it, only to find out that the lead portion had disappeared, leaving only the misshapen case. Fake futuristic technology. Centuries into the future, most of humanity resides in artificial habitats spread across the solar system. Utilizing advanced technology such as fusion-powered drives capable of providing ships with substantial delta-V, an automated alien ship arrives. Having traveled for centuries from a star 100 light-years away, its origin lies with a race that, under the influence of their version of the Third Reich, seeks to eliminate any potential threat from a habitable planet reported by their astronomers. The scenario pits a single automated alien warship against the collective military strength of 20 to 30 billion humans living in space. Human ships are armed with kinetic kill missiles, high-velocity cannons, Casbah howitzers, and lasers. Defensive mechanisms include railguns, lasers, and particle cannons in defense grids, along with powerful magnetic shields to counter radiation, particle beams, and debris from incoming projectiles. Human ships boast fusion-based engines, providing significant delta-V and agility. To make the alien ship a formidable threat, it needs technologies that surpass human capabilities while adhering to hard science fiction principles. The goal is for the alien ship to overpower hundreds or thousands of human warships, destroy all habitats in the solar system, and ultimately eradicate life on Earth. The only limitations imposed are avoiding future fantasy elements like hard light shields and warp drives, and maintaining a size limit of around 1 billion metric tons. Animal mutilation. Unexplained livestock mutilations have been reported for centuries, with reports ranging from common predators to UFOs. The cases typically involve bovine corpses, where ears, eyes, udders, anuses, sex organs, and tongues have been precisely removed, often drained of blood, and devoid of tracks or footprints. In 1975, around 200 cases occurred in Colorado alone, prompting national attention and an FBI investigation in 1979, particularly focusing on New Mexico's Indian lands. The FBI, however, concluded in 1980 that common predators were responsible, dismissing claims of unusual phenomena. Despite the official stance, many locals disagreed, citing their familiarity with cattle deaths and distinguishing between natural causes and precise mutilations. Cattle mutilation reports extend beyond the 1970s and the United States, with similar cases involving sheep, cows, or horses dating back centuries and persisting into 2019. The 70s cases garnered widespread attention and sparked debates between those viewing the mutilations as unexpected phenomena and those attributing them to normal cattle deaths framed as mysterious or paranormal. Various explanations have been proposed, ranging from quasi-religious rituals by people to unidentified cults or Satanists. Reports often mention the coincidence of mysterious unmarked helicopters during mutilation incidents, fueling suspicions of government involvement for reasons like biological weaponry testing. Some attribute the incidents to unidentified earthbound creatures, tying them to paranormal activities on properties like Skinwalker Ranch. Additionally, extraterrestrial visitors are suggested as culprits, with researcher Linda Moulton Howe linking over 1,000 cases to potential alien involvement, culminating in her documentary, A Strange Harvest, and the book, An Alien Harvest. One notable cause in 1967 involved a horse named Lady found dead and partially skinned in Colorado, with subsequent reports of strange aerial phenomena. The debate surrounding cattle mutilations encompasses a range of theories, from earthly explanations to extraterrestrial involvement. Hybrid babies. A front-page advertisement in USA Today about hybrid babies born across the United States is being misconstrued by some social media users as a genuine news story. The posts feature an image of the newspaper with the headline, "Hybrid babies born across the U.S. World reacts to new generation of half-human, half-animal children with both awe and concern." The word advertisement is prominently displayed above the headline, clearly indicating it is not an authentic story. The actual front-page story in the June 4th to 6th, 2021 edition of USA Today was titled "Texas Border Town. We Get the Brunt of It." Comments and captions reveal that some users are taking the story seriously, despite it being an advertisement. Lark Marie Anton, Senior Vice President of Corporate Communications at Gannett, the owner of USA Today, confirmed that the cover was an ad wrap campaign for the Netflix series Sweet Tooth, and emphasized that it was labeled as an advertisement following their guidelines. The series is about a boy who is half human and half deer, living in a post-apocalyptic world. The babies depicted in the advertisement can be seen in a Netflix tweet and the series trailer and teaser. Aliens love our bread. Extraterrestrial beings exhibit a peculiar fondness for bread and embark on intricate endeavors to acquire copious amounts of baked goods. In response, humans playfully feign ignorance, overlooking the extraterrestrial creatures as often clumsy and humorous attempts to satisfy their apparent craving for bread. This scenario unfolds as a light-hearted interplay between humans and aliens, with the latter's unconventional pursuit of bread becoming a source of amusement for both parties involved. This whimsical dynamic adds a touch of humor to otherwise enigmatic encounters between humans and their interstellar counterparts. Bedroom invaders. Aliens targeting the bedrooms of unsuspecting individuals is a recurring theme, with reports suggesting that these encounters often occur during sleep. Such abductions are characterized by a state of paralysis, vivid hallucinations, and a sense of helplessness. The scientific community tends to attribute these experiences to sleep paralysis, a temporary condition that renders individuals unable to move when entering or leaving sleep. The distinctive feature in these accounts is the presence of a blinding light that precedes the arrival of aliens. Questions arise about whether this light serves to gain access to the victims' bedrooms or to induce paralysis. Whitley Strieber, who claims to have been abducted, recounts a scenario where his wife slept through the entire incident, despite the luminous presence and his physical removal from the bed. Theories suggest that aliens might be targeting individuals during sleep to access their minds or manipulate brainwaves. Additionally, there are speculations about secret government involvement and experiments conducted in underground bases, such as the alleged Dulce base in New Mexico. The debate continues whether these experiences are genuine encounters or manifestations of sleep-related phenomena. Crucifix UFOs. Crucifix UFOs, enigmatic cross-shaped objects, have been frequently observed hovering over conflict zones, particularly in war-torn areas like Ukraine. One notable sighting occurred in Sevastopol, a city central to the Russia-Ukraine dispute, where a video emerged in late October 2015, depicting a cross-shaped UFO maneuvering over the city. The object exhibited movement, seemingly descending close to the ground and then ascending, accompanied by pulsating and intensifying light. Despite being cross-shaped, a month earlier, Sevastopol reported a sighting of a ball-shaped UFO. Given the region's profound religious beliefs and the backdrop of war tragedies, locals initially interpreted these crosses as signs from extraterrestrials or spiritual entities expressing discontent with the conflicts, possibly even perceived as angels or flying humanoid beings. However, alternative explanations include military operations, drones, or reflective kites, particularly considering the erratic motion observed. This movement rules out phenomena like lens flares or camera anomalies. Considering the geopolitical context involving Russia, Vladimir Putin, U.S. relations, terrorism, Syria, and global events, some theorize that this area could be strategically chosen to observe public reactions to religious projections, akin to Project Bluebeam, or the dissemination of CGI videos with religious themes. Social media responses indicate that these sightings have elicited significant attention and discussion. Crucifix UFOs are consistently described as luminous, cross-shaped objects suspended high in the sky. Magonia. Magonia is a quarterly journal focusing on anomalies, encompassing phenomena like visions, portents, prodigies, and UFOs. The term Magonia originated in medieval France, representing a mysterious realm beyond the sky, connected with various signs and wonders intricately linked to human destinies. According to medieval belief, denizens of Magonia used aerial ships, allegedly causing crop damage and abducting humans. Emperor Charlemagne even issued edicts to prevent these Magonians from disturbing the air and inciting storms. The journal's topics have explored diverse subjects, including glossolalia, Ouija boards, pagan occultism, coincidences, spiricom, earthlights, psychic research, Bigfoot, and other Fortean phenomena. Healing UFOs. Shamans across cultures are often acknowledged for their perceived abilities to connect with higher realms, heal, and predict the future. Edgar Cayce, born in 1877 in Kentucky, gained global recognition as a significant Christian mystic of the 20th century, known for over 14,000 documented psychic readings. Cayce, also called the Sleeping Prophet, conducted health assessments without physical examinations through self-induced trances. Despite lacking formal medical training, he provided unique remedies, contributing to the introduction of holistic medicine in the West. Cayce's holistic philosophy extended beyond health, emphasizing the interconnectedness of body, mind, and spirit. He believed this approach could awaken psychic abilities and access higher knowledge. Advocating a positive mindset and spiritual alignment, Cayce suggested tapping into the ether, connecting all existence, echoing Einstein's concept of energy interconnection. Black-eyed children. Black-eyed children, or black-eyed kids, are entities in modern American legend resembling children aged 6 to 16. With pale skin and black eyes, originating from 1996 posts by Texan reporter Brian Bethel, recounting encounters in Albany, Texas. The legend gained popularity as classic creepypasta. The 2012 horror film Black-Eyed Kids, and a 2013 MSN episode contributed to its spread. Alleged sightings, often linked to paranormal entities, lack documented evidence, leading Snopes to classify them as legends. Science writer Sharon A. Hill likens these tales to friend-of-a-friend ghost stories, drawing parallels to typical spooky folklore. Level 4. Filiberto Cardenas abduction. On January 3, 1979, in Miami, Cardenas, driving 3 friends, experiences a car engine failure. While checking under the hood, a massive UFO appears above the car. A blinding beam of light pulls Cardenas inside the UFO, which vanishes, leaving the terrified motorist. 2 hours later, Cardenas is found 16 miles away. He claims to have traveled a greater distance. According to him, the UFO was manned by 3 human-like aliens who warned him of future wars and disasters. They transported him to an underwater city through an undersea tunnel. There he encountered another human abductee, living with the aliens for years. Cardenas underwent medical experiments, resulting in over 100 needle marks. After the abduction, he experienced extreme temperature changes, unquenchable thirst, and terrifying memory loss, questioning reality and attributing it to his alien abductors. Greys are androids. In 1996, Nigel Kerner introduced the concept of greys, proposing that these aliens are sophisticated biorobots created by an extraterrestrial civilization that has long vanished. Kerner's new book delves into the idea that greys aim to conquer death by obtaining something humans possess. Through manipulating human DNA, they seek to create their souls and transcend the material universe. Kerner argues that greys have engaged in genetic manipulation since biblical times, influencing negative human traits like violence and greed. He suggests that racism was developed by these aliens to protect their genetic experiments. By examining historical records, Kerner connects figures like Jesus and Hitler to ongoing struggle against the influence of these extraterrestrial entities. Despite their hold on humanity, Kerner proposes that following spiritual principles can free us from the grasp of the greys, who exist solely in the material realm, unable to reach spiritual enlightenment. Stéphane Denardet. On the night of March 10, 1990 to March 11, 1990, the narrator listened to a radio broadcast discussing Stéphane Denardet's new book on the KRO program, Damocles. The pseudonym of Ad Beers, Stéphane Denardet, was a successful car importer named ACM Beers. The internet provided the narrator with information about Denardet and the opportunity to purchase both of his books, Operation Survival Earth from 1969 and Universal Creation from 1990. The first book, written in 1969, contained descriptions that, despite being considered nonsense by some, included predictions that have since become realities, such as the concept of an e-reader. The narrative reflects on the positive reception of Denardet's book, acknowledging the hopeful and somewhat clinical nature of the depicted world. The narrator mentions a neutral stance on whether to believe Denardet's story, but appreciates the message's hopefulness. A radio interview with Denardet from 1990 is also mentioned, and the narrator emphasizes the need for open-minded investigation without fully endorsing or dismissing Denardet's experiences. The text ends with a reflection on the pivotal years of 1989 and 90, and the fascination with the series of 1968, 1969, to 1989, 1990, to 2012, 2013, with 1989, 1990 considered a crucial turning point. Poltergeist activity. In ghost lore, a poltergeist is a type of spirit responsible for physical disturbances, such as loud noises and object movement. They are often depicted as capable of various actions, including pinching, biting, hitting, and tripping people, as well as moving or levitating objects and creating noises like knocking. The phenomena associated with foul smells, simultaneous fires, and electrical issues. Poltergeists are believed to haunt individuals rather than specific locations, and variations of this folklore exist in many cultures. Originating back to the 1st century, references to poltergeists became more prevalent in the 17th century. The term poltergeist is derived from the German words poltern, to make sound, and Geist, ghost or spirit, translating to noisy ghost. Various explanations for poltergeist activity have been proposed, including hoaxes, psychological factors such as illusions and wishful thinking, and natural phenomena like unusual air currents. Claims of poltergeist events often involve exaggerated reports, and research in animalistic psychology suggests that psychological dynamics contribute to these experiences. Some cases of poltergeist activity have been linked to environmental factors such as underground water movement, seismic activity, and ball lightning. Parapsychologists have suggested psychokinesis as an explanation. While historically, actually malicious spirits were blamed for such occurrences, Carl Gustav Jung was interested in the concept of poltergeists, relating them to subconscious mind exteriorization. Overall, skepticism surrounds the evidence surrounding poltergeist activity, with many cases having alternative explanations or deemed as hoaxes. Bigfoot activity near UFOs. The documentary Invasion on Chestnut Ridge explores the history of paranormal activity in southwestern Pennsylvania, particularly around Chestnut Ridge. Directed and produced by Seth Breedlove from Small Town Monsters, the film recounts various unusual incidents, ranging from UFO sightings to encounters with strange creatures, spanning over a century. Unlike previous documentaries from the production team, this film focuses on a location rather than a specific creature or person. Breedlove describes Chestnut Ridge as the most unusual place this side of the Bermuda Triangle, pointing to the consistent and unexplained occurrences that have puzzled investigators for decades. The documentary, set to release on October 20th, aims to convey the intriguing and mysterious history of this region, inviting viewers to explore the beauty and uniqueness of Chestnut Ridge. Time slips. A time slip serves as a narrative element in fantasy and science fiction, involving the inadvertent journey through time by an individual or a group, without a clear explanation of the means. This concept dates back to 19th century fantasy, notably seen in Washington Irving's 1819 work Rip Van Winkle, where an extended period of sleep facilitates time travel. Mark Twain's 1889 novel, A Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's Court, popularized time slip stories, influencing subsequent writers. Unlike time travel stories with a time machine, time slip narratives depict protagonists who lack control and understanding of the process, often finding themselves stranded in a different time period. This device is a prominent feature in children's literature as well. George Gaylord Simpson's posthumously published novella, The Dechronization of Sam Magruder, explores a paleontologist's accidental time slip from 2162 to the Cretaceous period, where the protagonist comprehends the mechanism behind the journey due to his experiments in the quantum nature of time. Round trip to hell in a flying saucer. In 1 Timothy 4:1, the Bible warns about the emergence of deceptive beliefs and departure from faith in the latter times. Despite an increase in the number of Americans reporting no religious affiliation, the majority remains religious, with over 70% affiliating with Christianity in various forms. However, there is a significant segment, 21%, without religious ties. While 43% attend religious services monthly, paranormal beliefs may find traction, particularly as conventional religion faces a decline in the United States. The link between the paranormal popularity and the fate of conventional religion suggests that a decline in the latter could lead to increased interest in alternative spiritualities and paranormal phenomena, creating a space for exploration beyond traditional religious boundaries. Underwater bases. The Alaska Triangle, known for its mysterious phenomena, including UFO sightings, has sparked speculation about the existence of an underwater alien base in the region. The Gulf of Alaska, with depths reaching 26,000 feet, is suggested as an ideal hiding place. Reports describe underwater UFO activity, with instances of objects tracked underwater, eluding the Navy and displaying remarkable speed. Accounts from U.S. servicemen, such as a 1969 incident reported by Dan Willis, reveal encounters with UFOs emerging from the ocean. Despite legal constraints at the time, Willis brought the incident to the light, prompting questions about extraterrestrial involvement in the region's waters. The possibility of an underwater alien base in Alaska continues to captivate researchers, considering the consistent patterns observed in various UFO encounters in the area. Cisco Grove Incident. On the evening of September 4th, 1964, Donald Schrum, along with friends Vincent Alvarez and Tim Trueblood, experienced a harrowing encounter while hunting in Tahoe National Forest near Cisco Grove, California. After establishing a camp, they ventured deep into the woods for deer hunting. As night fell, Schrum decided to secure himself in a tree using a military-style belt. A strange light appeared, and a glowing spherical object with humanoid and robotic creatures approached him. Despite firing arrows at them, Schrum was knocked unconscious twice. When he woke up, the creatures were gone. Reporting the incident to his friends, Schrum faced skepticism. Authorities confiscated some arrows and presented alternative scenarios, leading him to doubt his own account. Schrum maintained his story for over half a century. Listen to his detailed recollection in an interview conducted by UFO researcher Ruben Uriarte for a comprehensive understanding of this extraordinary case. The Native American Connection. Patina Wellness Center is a reputable residential substance use treatment facility that caters to both Native American and non-Native communities. With a welcoming atmosphere, the center is dedicated to providing compassionate support for individuals seeking recovery. Drawing from 50 years of experience, the program incorporates traditional healing practices such as talking circles, daily smudging, and sweat lodge sessions to promote wellness, balance, and recovery. The comprehensive approach includes individual and group therapy, art and music therapy, relapse prevention planning, life skills practice, and nutritious meals, all focused on fostering social connectedness and supporting recovery. Patina Wellness Center extends its care to the entire family, including couples, pregnant women, and parents. Phantom social workers. The renowned Irish poet William Butler Yeats delves into the folklore of rural Ireland in his well-known poem, The Stolen Child, depicting a tradition where fairies lure children away from their families into the fairy world. Exploring the evolving archetype of fairies, aliens, and demons, a modern manifestation of this phenomenon emerged in Ireland during the late 1980s, reaching its peak in 2008, known as bogus social worker visits. These unsettling incidents involved individuals posing as social workers who approached homes, particularly targeting women alone. The encounters, characterized by strange behavior and measured speech, raised concerns and prompted investigations by authorities in multiple regions. Despite extensive efforts, the identity of these bogus social workers remained elusive, leading some to speculate on a connection to folklore and mythological stories of fairy abductions. This modern phenomena shares intriguing parallels with other mysterious encounters, such as those involving the Men in Black and black-eyed children knocking on doors and exhibiting peculiar behavior. The Dade City Flowers. The extraterrestrial incident known as the Dade City Flowers sighting occurred around 1924 in Dade City, Florida. While playing in the schoolyard, a young girl named Evelyn Wendt experienced temporary blindness caused by a bright light. As the light faded, she observed an unusual egg-shaped object on the grass. From this object emerged small robotic beings carrying some kind of weapon or device. Evelyn expressed a willingness to assist with the device, but it proved too heavy. The robotic entities communicated telepathically, revealing their intention to halt the work in the science building, even if it meant causing damage. Afterward, the robots returned to their egg-shaped spacecraft. Before departing, they extended an invitation for Evelyn to accompany them. She declined, and they promised to return for her in 35 years. The robots then boarded their ship, which ascended vertically, hovered briefly, and then departed. Gliders. The phenomenon of gliders, often associated with alien encounters, involves reported sightings of unpowered, silent aircraft that exhibit extraordinary maneuverability and speed beyond conventional human technology. Witnesses describe these gliders as disc-shaped or triangular, resembling unidentified flying objects, UFOs. These alleged extraterrestrial aircraft are said to move gracefully through the sky without any apparent propulsion or visible means of lift. Glider encounters contribute to the broader narrative of unidentified aerial phenomena, fueling speculation about advanced technologies and potential extraterrestrial visitations. These accounts, often accompanied by vivid descriptions of otherworldly characteristics, add to the ongoing mystery and speculation surrounding unidentified flying objects and their possible connection to extraterrestrial beings. The Silver Man. The encounter known as the Silver Man sighting occurred around 11:30 p.m. on March 17, 1978. involving Ken Edwards, a 38-year-old service engineer, during his journey home to Warrington Newtown Development after a union meeting in Greater Manchester. Edwards initially mistook the figure for a man climbing, but soon realized it was a massive humanoid descending the steep embankment near a nuclear facility. Startled, he brought his van to a stop about 50 feet from the creature, now illuminated by his headlights. The Long Prairie Cans. The extraterrestrial sighting known as the Long Prairie Cans incident occurred on October 23, 1965, near Long Prairie, Minnesota. During an evening drive, witness James Townsend came across a sizable upright rocket positioned in the middle of the road. Seeking evidence, Townsend aimed to topple it using his car. However, his vehicle stalled, prompting him to exit and attempt to push it over manually. After a brief period, the aliens ascended into the colorless light within the rocket and departed into the night, leaving behind 3 parallel lines of an oily substance. All contactees are hypnotized by the same group. Jan believed that she had inhabited a human body formerly known as Val, asserting that Val willingly gave up her body during a nap a decade ago, allowing Jan, an indigenous Pleiadian, to enter it in what is known as a walk-in situation, distinct from abductions. Jan returned to Earth to live among humans and continue raising Val's children. This unconventional story prompted me to visit Jan and Misha Johnson, another woman with similar beliefs, in Las Vegas. This move was met with disapproval from serious UFO researchers, who disdained such New Age figures. Ufologists and New Agers approach the alien enigma differently. Ufologists look outward for answers, while New Agers look inward. Neither group, however, can produce tangible evidence, like an alien-made wristwatch or a solved mathematical equation. Although both fall short in the news you can use category, the New Age perspective offers hope that contemplation of aliens can lead to personal improvement through consciousness raising. During a visit to Misha Johnson's Starseed contactee group meeting, held in her transient and temporary apartment, I observed the fluidity of lives in constant flux. The group's guidelines emphasized privacy, confidentiality, and support, rather than debate or investigation. Rule number 10 emphasized not invalidating members' beliefs or experiences, a stark contrast to the scientific methodology that values the obligation to invalidate spurious claims. Another handout provided a list of physical anomalies associated with alien encounters. The New Age philosophy, with its focus on acceptance and support, stood in stark contrast to the scientific approach of skepticism and invalidation. Attempted abduction by a lobster thing. When extraterrestrial entities make contact with humans, there is a diverse range of reported experiences, with some suggesting that these beings appear in their true forms, while others believe that they may shapeshift to have a specific image on the experiencer. In one peculiar case from Greene County, Pennsylvania, a teenage girl named Sherry had a unique encounter in the late 1970s. Sherry, who grew up amidst various paranormal activities in the area, found herself seemingly in the clutches of a lobster-like creature, around 7 to 8 feet tall, with enormous antennae. During this unsettling experience, Sherry felt like she was being extracted through a strangely lit window by the creature. However, she managed to resist, and the creature dropped her to the floor. When she woke up the next morning, Sherry discovered a significant bruise on her arm and realized that the encounter may not have been a dream. While the lobster-like entity never returned, Sherry did recall other experiences involving more typical extraterrestrial abductions during the same period, where she found herself aboard alien ships but experienced no pain or probing. As Sherry aged, her encounters with extraterrestrial entities ceased, a pattern noted by abduction researchers. Such experiences often begin early in life, involving multiple family members, and sometimes conclude when the individual reaches adulthood. However, Sherry continued to encounter other phenomena, including shadow people, Bigfoot, and a mysterious veil in the landscape. These ongoing experiences contribute to the enigmatic and paranormal nature of Greene County, as explored in the book Haunted Hills and Hollows: What Lurks in Greene County, Pennsylvania, written by author and Kevin Paul, a local paranormal investigator. The book delves into the rich tapestry of strange stories that permeate the sparsely populated region. The Riri Carjackers. On November 2, 1967, Will Begay and Guy Tossi claimed they were carjacked by alien entities after a night of drinking in Greene County, Pennsylvania. According to their account, a UFO landed in front of their vehicle, revealing two small, cantaloupe-skinned entities with slit-like mouths, black eyes, pointed ears, and no hair. One of the creatures floated into the car, took control of the steering wheel, and drove briefly before crashing. Tossi fled, chased by a green light, and the UFO took off with the carjacking alien. While skeptics suggest that the story may be a hoax influenced by alcohol consumption, additional sightings from a farmer and an unnamed local lend some credence to the tale. The incident remains a bizarre and fantastical account in the realm of alien encounters, leaving room for both skepticism and intrigue. Level 5. UFOs with tentacles. While many associate the term UFO with alien spacecraft, some entertain the opposite idea, suggesting UFOs might be organic entities inhabiting the cosmic void. A video captured in Dover, Delaware, shows a dark reddish object with a trail that transforms into two tentacle-like trails before turning black and disappearing into a cloud formation. Speculation arises that it could be a plasma life form residing in Earth's upper atmosphere. This concept raises intriguing questions about the nature of these entities, their potential connection to orb-shaped UFOs, and whether they can morph into living spheres of light, adding a mysterious layer to the understanding of UFO sightings. The distortion theory. In recent decades, there has been a lack of significant advancement in the understanding of UFO phenomenon, especially in puzzling aspects like close encounters. In 1969, renowned researcher Jacques Vallée introduced a groundbreaking perspective in his book Passport to Magonia, presenting the idea that UFOs are not solely extraterrestrial craft, but may have connections to mythological occurrences throughout history, such as elves and fairies. Vallée proposed that the UFO phenomenon adapts its manifestations to the cultural context of the observer, acting as a control system manipulating humanity. Dr. Joseph Allen Hynek, a leading UFO authority, also questioned the naive extraterrestrial hypothesis, suggesting possible links to paranormal phenomena. The theory of distortion is a complex hypothesis that offers a new approach to the UFO mystery. It posits that an unknown external agent interacts with the witness's psyche, creating a holographic projection of UFO encounters. This projection, sometimes tangible, incorporates elements from the witness's own mind and contributes to the variety in UFO experiences. Examining specific cases, such as one in Seville, Spain in 1971, where an elderly man observed an army of humanoid beings exiting a UFO, resembling a bus, and another in Brazil in 1968, involving a tractor worker encountering beings with Roman sandals, further illustrates the theory of distortion. Despite differences in details, the common elements of UFO landing, site inspection, and the use of paralyzing light rays persist, suggesting a shared mental creation influenced by an external agent. In essence, the theory of distortion proposes that close encounters with UFOs result from a shared mental creation between an unknown external agent and the witness's unconscious. The external agent contributes a common matrix, while the witness's creativity adds unique details, resulting in seemingly individual experiences. Despite variations, the core structure of close encounters remains rooted in a common thread, serving the purpose of distortion. UFO sightings cause bad luck. UFOs, now termed UAPs, have re-emerged as a concern with claims of physics-defying craft entering U.S. airspace. The Pentagon's recent UAP report, although eagerly awaited, remains inconclusive and raises questions about the intelligence process and the sudden focus on UFOs in Washington. The report suggests that analysis cannot explain the majority of reported sightings due to insufficient data. The issue extends beyond identifying the origin of these phenomena to questioning whether anything extraordinary is occurring. The Nimitz encounter in 2004 is cited as an example, with skeptics attributing sightings to misreporting, technical errors, or optical illusions. The challenges faced by UAP analysts include the limitations of intelligence collection systems and potential cognitive biases. The involvement of NASA and the need for scientific collaboration and peer review are highlighted as crucial for a comprehensive understanding of the phenomena. The report's call for analytical, collection, and resource investment is met with concerns about the potential inflation of the UAP issue, reminiscent of historical instances like the bomber gap during the Cold War. The article emphasizes the importance of accountability, context, and a healthy distance between policymakers and assessors to avoid politicization of the UAP matter. Overall, it suggests that skepticism should persist unless clear evidence of extraordinary craft is presented. The absurd nature of some of the sightings is purposeful. Albert Camus, 1913 to 1960, was a French philosopher and novelist renowned for exploring the alienation inherent in modern life, particularly through his philosophical concept of the absurd. His well-known works include the novels The Stranger, 1942, The Plague, 1947, and The Fall, 1956, as well as the philosophical essays The Myth of Sisyphus, 1942, and The Rebel, 1951. Camus, awarded the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1957, was born into a poor family in a war-torn French Algeria, losing his father in World War I. Despite a challenging childhood, he earned a scholarship to a prestigious lycée in Algiers and later studied philosophy at the University of Algiers. Commencing his writing career as a journalist for the Algiers Republican newspaper, Camus became involved in the resistance movement after relocating to Paris, where he edited the clandestine paper Combat and faced pursuit by the Gestapo. His experiences during wars and Nazi occupation profoundly influenced his philosophy and novels. The absurdism in Camus's philosophy, exemplified in The Myth of Sisyphus, 1942, centers on the futility of seeking meaning in a universe diverse of God or inherent purpose. He compared this absurdity to the myth of Sisyphus, emphasizing the tension between human desires for order and the universe's indifference. Rather than succumbing to despair or suicide, Camus argued for embracing the absurdity and creating value and meaning through resilience and effort. In The Stranger, the protagonist, Meursault, grapples with life's absurdity and societal alienation, encapsulated in the famous line, "Mother died today, or perhaps it was yesterday. I don't know." The novel explores Meursault's refusal to conform to societal expectations, leading to his death sentence. Camus' political philosophy, expressed in The Rebel, critiques communism and advocates for humanistic, ethical, and socially just upheaval instead of revolution, cautioning against its potential transformation into totalitarianism. Camus, a pacifist, condemned injustice in Algeria under French colonialism, and spoke against the death penalty and the atomic bombing of Hiroshima in 1945. Camus met an untimely death in a car accident while working on his unfinished autobiographical novel, The First Man, on his way to Paris. Despite his premature end, he remains a prominent cultural icon in France. Stick People. The Black Stick Men are mysterious entities representing a relatively recent addition to cryptid sightings, yet they are associated with ancient beings depicted in certain cave drawings, sparking beliefs in ancient aliens or extraterrestrial travelers by some groups. These humanoid beings, termed Black Stick Men, bear a resemblance to stick figure drawings and lack discernible facial features such as eyes, a nose, or a mouth. Despite their name, there is speculation that this species is genderless. Reported heights vary, ranging from that of an average human to several feet. Notably, Black Stick Men seem entirely two-dimensional, devoid of shadows, and their methods of communication remain unclear. Witnesses often describe them as electrically charged, with static electricity being a commonly suggested attribute. Unlike other paranormal creatures, Black Stick Men aren't necessarily linked to specific paranormal events, but manifest without distinct triggers. The origins of these humanoids are subject to various theories. Some propose that their two-dimensional nature implies they might be denizens of another dimension. Other theories suggest that they could be demonic entities akin to shadow people, while some posit that they are peaceful beings, unaware of their impact on humanity, simply traveling. Despite suggestions, there is no conclusive confirmation connecting Black Stick Men to the shadow people phenomenon. A less ominous theory proposes that a Black Stick Man may represent a manifestation of an individual's psyche, similar to tulpas, doppelgangers, or a malevolent entity called a fetch. Many claim to have witnessed these beings during moments of fatigue or tension. While there are no verified reports of Black Stick Men attacking witnesses, feelings of aggression and agitation have been reported post-encounter. It is conceivable that these creatures emit negative energy, or may feed on such energy, resembling the behavior of astral vampires. Discovery of a black stick man could induce a mesmerizing effect on eyewitnesses. The 1981 Phantom Clown Wave. As Halloween approaches, the Carolinas are experiencing a wave of clown-related hysteria, with reports of clowns luring children into the woods. This phenomenon is not entirely new, as similar incidents occurred in Boston in 1981, with clowns attempting to entice children with candy. Cryptozoologist Lauren Coleman, an expert on mysterious clowns, suggests that these phantom clowns follow a specific pattern, often involving clowns and vans approaching children, but they are never caught. The recent surge in clown sightings may be influenced by community memory and fear, with some recalling actual crimes committed by individuals dressed as clowns. Coleman also links media coverage, especially during election years, to the spread of clown-related incidents, suggesting that negative news prompts the media to focus on distracting and sensational stories. He even attributes the current trend to the influence of Donald Trump, whom he calls the real clown. While some of this analysis involves conjecture, Coleman predicts that continued media attention will likely lead to more clown sightings in other locations. The Vegetable Man. The Vegetable Man, by Luigi Ugolini, recounts the tale of Dr. Benito Olivares, an adventurous scientist who turns into a green man after encountering a mysterious plant in the Brazilian interior. Originally published in 1917, the story reflects the style of a traveler's narrative, with Olivares resembling an adventurous scientist akin to Indiana Jones. The narrative carries an element of mystery, suggesting intrusion into nature's secrets, with warnings for indigenous people about the plant's spiritual significance. This peculiar plant, Olivara vigilans, defies classification, resembling both vegetable and animal characteristics, echoing themes found in Lovecraft's works. The story's details, such as Olivares donating plant samples to the Museum of Natural History in Buenos Aires, evoke connections to Jorge Luis Borges and Jeff Vandermeer. Borges' blindness adds an intriguing layer to the plant that he couldn't see, while Vandermeer's annihilation resonates with the transformation of characters into animals. The parallels between Vandermeer's work and stories in the anthology highlight the interconnectedness of the new weird genre, shaped by both literary influences and the editor's note in defining precursors. The exploration of pulp adventure continues, with Abraham Merritt's The People of the Pit in the next discussion. UFOs attacking ambulance transporting blood. H.G. Wells depicted the Martians in The War of the Worlds as highly evolved mechanized lifeforms with brains and hand tentacles. These extraterrestrial beings, having abandoned complex digestive systems, sustained themselves by draining blood from Earth's animals, including humans. The Martians, lacking a significant immune system due to the absence of bacteria and viruses on Mars, could potentially incorporate animal blood into their own bloodstream without rejection. In South America, there are myths about blood-sucking aliens named after the chupacabra. Allegedly, victims experienced blood-draining attacks initiated by beams of colored light from UFOs. These incidents, reported since the 1970s, particularly in Colares, Brazil, resulted in severe injuries and deaths, with victims exhibiting low hemoglobin levels and puncture wounds. Some believe in the existence of these blood-draining aliens, while others attribute the phenomena to vampire bats, which are prevalent in the region. Reports of Chupa Chupa incidents persist, prompting ongoing debate between superstition and scientific explanations. UFOs and occupants fear the name of Jesus. Jesus is a figure of controversy primarily among humans due to diverse beliefs and preferences. People may feel uncomfortable with assertions about absolute truths concerning unseen realms and their implications. However, demons recognize and fear Jesus. Some claim that demons often masquerade as aliens, with modern alien abduction stories resembling traditional fairy abductions. While the idea of aliens visiting Earth is unsettling, the speaker personally doesn't believe in their existence. The speaker suggests that humanity's current state of corruption and danger might prevent God from revealing beautiful things elsewhere, waiting instead until after a purification process. Secret elevators. The exclusion of a 13th floor in buildings, rooted in triskaidekaphobia, or a desire to avoid superstitions, is a common practice. Various methods are employed, such as skipping the number 13, renumbering it as 12A or 12B, or using special designations like M, or names for specific floors. This tradition is also seen in parts of China, where the number 4 is avoided due to its association with death. In popular culture, conspiracy theories suggest hidden governmental departments on the 13th floor, influencing films, TV shows, and literature. Despite differing opinions on its impact on real estate values, the omission of the 13th floor remains prevalent. Witnesses committing suicide. Heaven's Gate was a religious group in the United States centered on a belief in unidentified flying objects. Formed under various names like Human Individual Metamorphosis, Bo and Peep, and Total Overcomers Anonymous, the group, led by Marshall H. Applewhite and Bonnie Nettles, gained attention after 39 members died by suicide in San Diego in March 1997. Applewhite and Nettles, convinced that they were end-time witnesses in Revelation 11, attracted followers in 1975 who prepared for a transition to a new life on a spaceship. After settling in Texas, their communal existence focused on disciplines for a higher level of existence. In 1994, expecting a transition, they engaged in proselytization and divested possessions. In 1997, they moved to San Diego, supporting themselves through web development. In 1997, believing a spaceship trailed Comet Halley-Bopp, 39 members died by suicide, anticipating a journey to a better place. Before the event, they created a video explaining their decisions. Fake people. 20% of people surveyed globally in a Reuters Ipsos poll of 23,000 adults in 22 countries believe that aliens exist and live among us in human form. Over 40% of respondents from India and China share this belief, while only 8% from Belgium, Sweden, and the Netherlands hold similar views. The majority, 80%, do not believe in the presence of aliens. The survey suggests a modest correlation between belief in disguised aliens and the population size of countries. More men, 22%, than women, 17%, believe in the existence of aliens on Earth, with most believers under the age of 35 across all income classes. Another perspective on alien abductions comes from Young Hai Chi, an instructor at the University of Oxford, who believes that aliens are creating hybrid beings as a response to climate change. He connects the increased number of reported abductions, based on the work of ufologist David Jacobs, to the rise in atmospheric greenhouse gases. Black dogs. The black dog, a legendary creature associated with the British and European countryside, is among the oldest and most widespread phantasmal entities. It is not an ordinary black dog, but a monstrous, shaggy-coated creature linked to rural areas, town edges, and green spaces. The black dog is described in contradictory terms, ranging from malevolent and associated with the supernatural to being a guardian or protector. The names associated with black dogs vary across regions, and their etymologies suggest connections to old worlds related to biting, Satan, spirits, ghosts, or guardianship of treasure. These stories are not limited to the UK, but also extend to Iceland, France, Germany, Austria, Italy, Poland, the USA, Canada, and Latin American countries. The encounters often occur on lonely countryside roads, with witnesses typically being alone. While some stories date back centuries, many are surprisingly modern, continuing into the 20th century. The black dog encounters are not likely descriptions of real animals, and proposals linking them to large cats or bears lack convincing evidence. Some suggest that black dog sightings could be hallucinations or psychological phenomena, with witnesses perceiving dark shapes and interpreting them as legendary creatures. Alternatively, environmental factors such as electromagnetic or geomagnetic phenomena could contribute to the phenomenon, as seen in connections between hauntings and unusual environmental conditions. Despite the diverse interpretations and explanations, the black dog remains a fascinating mythical and semi-real entity deeply embedded in cultural folklore. Exploring this alleged creature may offer insights into the origins of other mystical beings and help bridge the gap between real and imagined monsters. The 1989 Brooklyn, New York encounter. In 1989, Lindo Napolitano claimed to have experienced multiple UFO abductions in Brooklyn, New York. She reported encounters with small humanoid creatures, telepathic communication, and being taken to a UFO. These events involved individuals named Richard and Dan, who initially posed as police officers. Linda's story gained attention, with claims that even the Secretary General of the United Nations, Javier Perez de Cuellar, witnessed the events. However, skeptics questioned the credibility of Linda's account. Some argue that her narrative resembles elements from a science fiction novel called Night Eyes, published a few months before Linda contacted UFO investigator Bud Hopkins. Linda's building visibility from the New York Post loading dock is also questioned, as no workers reported unusual sightings. The story involves complex details, including Linda's telepathic communication, alleged abductions, and the involvement of high-profile figures. While Linda's experiences were widely discussed, skepticism and alternative explanations persist, raising questions about the veracity of claims. Other worlds seen during the encounters are fake. The U.S. government is set to release a report on unexplained aerial phenomena, commonly known as UFOs. Initial findings suggest that while the evidence does not indicate alien technology, the unusual phenomena remain unexplained. The report dismisses the possibility of classified U.S. government or Pentagon programs being responsible for the encountered craft's unique flight capabilities. Interest in UFOs surged after the Pentagon verified videos from U.S. Navy planes showing high-speed, agile objects. Louis Elizondo, former leader of the Pentagon's Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, emphasized the need for a scientific focus rather than speculating on origins. The report, mandated by Congress due to a stipulation in the COVID-19 relief bill, is expected to be presented this month. It aims to address unidentified aerial phenomena and will be submitted to congressional committees for review. This development follows increased public interest and the Pentagon's release of previously classified footage from Navy pilots' cameras in 2020. As we conclude our voyage through the Alien and UFO Iceberg, we emerge from the enigmatic depths that have shrouded us in the extraordinary. Today's expedition has been a fascinating exploration into the mysteries concealed beneath the surface of our reality. Until our next venture into the unexplored, may the enigma of the Alien and UFO Iceberg linger in your thoughts. Safe travels, fellow explorers.